And of course, this is the People's University, the People's Parliament, and the People's Program. Stay with us for your spiritual, social, and intellectual needs. Stay with us because we support what is best for you. It's a people show where I listen to your concerns and I will leave no stone unturned until your issues are addressed. This is a place to find the experts to help you. This is a place for exciting discussions. This is a place to make sure that your voice is heard. This is a place to be spot on. Remember, if there are issues in your communities, your city, or your town, then make contact with me. Of course, the number to call is 876-968-8117. That is 876-968-8117. That's in Jamaica and overseas. The toll-free number is 877-494-0253. That is 877-494-0253. Right here in Jamaica, the number is 876-968-8117. And remember, too, that if you have persons in your communities who are giving outstanding community service, then let us know. If you've been to a government office or a private sector office and they give you outstanding customer service, then definitely let me know about that. And, of course, let's see what's coming up. We'll start off with your great music, of course. And then we will, yes, great music. And I tell you something, I'm going to have this one is be my guest, and guess who will be on? Mr. Fitz Jackson, Member of Parliament. And of course, we'll be talking about banking issues and other matters related to consumer issues, and plus any other matter that Mr. Jackson might want to talk about. And of course, we will have consumer prices here with Nadine and Anthony Gale. And of course, we close off with your birthdays, your anniversaries, and your thought for the day. So they gotta get off to a fine start on this beautiful Monday morning. This is Spot On with Vernon Darby.
Are you in the house? Yes, sir. Are you ready to serve? Hallelujah. Watch this. Yeah.
What a beautiful Monday morning. Give thanks that you got up. You could feel yourself, you could touch yourself. Well, you are alive.
Are you ready to worship?
Oh,
Do you feel the fire? Don't be ashamed. Lift your hands. Come on. If you know my Jesus say.
good morning to my friends in Lauderhill, yeah?
To deliver.
New York, yeah? My friends in Mexico. Oh, yeah, make sure that you... Can you imagine you're going to have night today? In the middle of the day, yeah? We should be able to sell a little bit of it, right, Oscar? Of the eclipse today, I hope so. But I beg you not, no. But I'm going to look up at the sun, No, you'll never say. You'll only see night after that, so I beg you. Right? You can see the night tonight. Give it night tonight. It's night today. But if you look up at the sun, you will see night forever. Oh, yes, really great to have you this beautiful Monday morning. This is Spot On with Vernon Darby. And I made a little comment about the carnival. And I'm going to tell you what wrong and what right. But all I will tell you, see, is that money can value everything. And I know when we talk about carnival, everybody talk about money, but there are other things that we have to look at how we function, children involved and so on. And we have to think about that. Because if it was money alone, my mother don't do nothing for me, But let me tell you something. The love and the care and the fight and the stand behind me, that's enough. So we have to be careful that we are now living in a society where anything that they can value in terms of money, it has no value. No Sankey can't say so at all. The transportation sector, it continues to be pretty bad. And I got a video over the weekend showing the disgusting behavior. I would say nasty, it's horrible, of a transport operator speaking to his these passengers, including one lady. Apparently, there was a disagreement with fares because it's clear to me that nobody wants to charge the fares that they are supposed to charge. If you heard the man behave, but I don't going to complain about how he behaved, you know. What will be interesting is to find out if that he will continue to be a part of the sector. And I will encourage my citizens and my friends right across this island, you must value yourself. Do not take that kind of a nasty, dirty behavior from these operators. And I would advise other persons who are seated, you have your phone, take out your phone, start film immediately and capture these things because that can come in very, very handy. All right, time is slipping by, but there's something I want to mention, and this is very big, and you can say you heard it on this program. Yes, yes, I'll be on it for a long time. And that is you hear persons talk about electricity and the cost of electricity, and then cost JPS, how they're worthless, and JPS thief and all them something there. But let me tell you something, there are two things that needs to be done. And I can tell you if that is done, it will have a positive impact on not only the electricity for you, but also the oil bill for the country. The first thing we need to do is that we need to, those persons who are not paying for electricity, government needs to sit down with the JPS and work out a plan and to get persons to even make a little small contribution. There's a social thing, you know, the impact that can have on the society when persons, especially children, grow up in an environment where they feel it's okay to steal electricity and water. That is not good. You can't build a society like that. So there's a social problem that is being created where persons feel that it is okay to steal electricity, steal water, and those things. So government need to do something about that and work with the JPS called NWC. And I put it to you, if we can reduce the level of theft of these utilities, that will help to reduce your bill significantly. There's another area that I'm going to suggest we need to, idea I'd love to see implemented. You see that refrigerator you have? The readings I've done shows that refrigerators have from about a 10-year. If we have a call on the line, okay, let me go to that caller there. You have a call on the line? Okay. That you have a 10-year to 15-year lifespan for the refrigerator. Now, can you imagine that for the refrigerators that we have in Jamaica, we're supposed to be using 50 cycle. You can't get that. They have been importing 60 cycle. So it means, therefore, more than likely the lifespan of a refrigerator in Jamaica will be less. I put it to you that most of the refrigerators in Jamaica have outlived their useful days. And I can tell you from my experience, because I've checked it out, when you have a refrigerator that has outlived its useful days, it's going to use a significant amount of electricity. As a matter of fact, there's a gadget that you can purchase called kilowatt that you can use to measure how much electricity your air conditioning unit or your refrigerator is using. And an old fridge used far more. As a matter of fact, in my case, my old refrigerator, with buying a new refrigerator, I saved 5,000 a month. My kilowatt hours per month was from a high of 150, 70 kilowatt hours, and it dropped to 104. Now, can you imagine if we should have an initiative to have most persons or all persons change out their refrigerators in Jamaica? The big difference that would make. Somebody said to me, Vernon, but they can't afford it. Well, guess what? It is better you do without one for a year, because I found out that the savings that I'm now enjoying, I could buy a brand new fridge in a matter of a year and a half. Can you imagine 5,000 a month? That is 60,000 a year. You have your fridge 10, 15 years. Just the amount of money that is going to down the drain. So I'm suggesting very strongly that the government develop a product with JPSCO and the credit unions and so on, where persons can change out their refrigerators. And I guarantee you, there are about probably, I don't know, I think it's about 500,000 Jamaicans, customers in terms of JPSCO. I guarantee you, if we change out those refrigerators and get 50 cycle refrigerators, so don't forget, these refrigerators are plugged in literally 24/7. So they account for a significant amount of your electricity costs. So, please, those who are listening, that's a serious suggestion, and I'm asking you to think about it and to tell your political representatives about it. The whole idea of reducing electric or your oil bill for the country, but also to reduce your personal cost of electricity. As I tell you from my personal experience, I'm now paying, now saving $5,000 per month. Right. Another matter I'd like to bring to your attention before I go for the break, and it has to do with how we leave things and we don't care. Those sinkholes have been on Waterloo Road for months now. Can you imagine how many cars have dropped into those sinkholes? Can you imagine the cost? And it would probably cost the country, I don't know, probably $200,000 to fix it or more. And it end up because, you see, they don't realize it's costing the taxpayers. Spare parts, foreign exchange. Can you imagine I'm talking about right at the corner there, Waterloo there, right by close to Fontana Pharmacy there. And I think it's West King's House Road. You understand the amount of traffic problems you have because you have these potholes there because it slows down the traffic in the morning. There's also two of them right there, I think it's by Reddy's Road here and Washington Boulevard. People need to be held accountable in this country. Too many persons are getting away with murder. And back to that transport thing there before I go for the break, I spoke to Mr. Ralston Smith about the behavior of that driver. And I'm going to appeal to persons. If you see people behaving and treating passengers a certain way, take your phone, film it, let us have it, because Jamaica has got to be a better place where we treat people with love, with courtesy. Of course, they are our brothers and sisters. And by the way, wow, just remember the Rwanda thing, was over 30 years ago. Can you imagine? They just kill off one another. Well, we've been through that in the 1980s. Amazing. All right, you're listening to Spot On with Vernon Darby. Going to go for the break, soon come back. Don't move.
And now we have Mr. Rohan McNally, manager of the Three Angels Pharmacy. Now, Mr. Mac, we've been hearing a lot of good things about Three Angels Pharmacy. What is it that makes the Three Angels Pharmacy so unique?
Well, you know, at Three Angels Pharmacy, we offer fast, friendly, and efficient customer service. We give back to our community. We offer counseling, blood pressure checks, cholesterol checks. We do photocopying, printing, faxes, and if we don't have it, we'll get it for you.
Thank you, Mr. Rohan McNally, manager of the Three Angels Pharmacy. For further information, call us at 625-5584 or 295-7469. Three Angels Pharmacy, located at shop number 7, Caledonia Plaza, 7B Caledonia Road, Mandeville.
There's a new gym on the block. Listen up, Portmore. Express Fitness is coming to the Big Buy Plaza. Get ready to sweat at our brand new location. And here's the best part. To celebrate, we're offering an unbeatable deal of only $1,000 for the first month. That's right. For only $1,000, you'll have access to state-of-the-art equipment and a community that's all about reaching your fitness goals. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Head down to Express Fitness at Big Buy Plaza in Portmore, where your journey to a better you begins.
Welcome back. Yes, you're listening to Spot On, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, that beautiful country right in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. And we say we little, but we tell our. All right, coming up right now is Be My Guest. And of course, we have on the line MP Fick Jackson. Good morning, my friend. How you doing?
I am doing good. Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners.
Let me
right
tell you
across
something.
the world.
Let me tell you something, you know. A good thing we don't live in your constituency, like I will live in your constituency, we'd have a vote for you. We'd have a vote for you.
Well, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing if you come and live there.
Because let me tell you something, you know. No matter anybody wants about you, you know, you are one of those MPs, and everybody know I have some favorite MPs. Sir Fitz Jackson is one. Mrs. Holness is another one, and there are a few others. Lisa Hanna and a few others. I do have some favorite politicians. And Mr. Jackson has been on this matter for a very long time. I remember when I started out, I was alone. And it's good to see when politicians really show a strong interest in what affects consumers. Now, he has shown interest in quite a number of things, but I'm speaking specifically about the banks and how they function. Because, for me, we can't take on bank now. So I'm glad Mr. Jackson take them on for me. Mr. Jackson, great to have you this morning, my friend.
My pleasure.
Now, give us an update as to how far we are, because I'm sure we have only touched the surface, because there have been numerous complaints about the banks. Numerous. I have all the complaints. So tell me, recently we heard about, is it we call it a memorandum or whatever it is, that was supposed to help us to get better service from the ABMs. And please, listeners, don't say ABM machine, ABM stands for what? Automatic banking machine. So you say machine, you say machine twice. Yes, sir. So let us take a look at that and tell me to what extent you think they have gone, government, the BOG has gone far enough. And if not, what needs to be done? What would you like to see to improve the situation? Just give us a background about the banking, the machines.
I'll start. Okay, I'll start with the machines specifically. In December last year, I tabled a private member's motion drawing attention to the challenges that card holders for use of ABMs were having enormous problems, and we heard it in the news.
Oh, yes, all over.
And just have difficulties accessing the machines. But when you say access, it sounds a little abstract and impersonal. What it means in real terms, Vernon, people can't get the money that they have in the bank.
What do you mean can't get the money? You want the money?
No, exactly. And we're talking about, it's not just people in a generalized way, though that is true, but most employees are both in both the private and the public sectors.
Yeah.
They get their pay through accounts.
Exactly. And we're trying to push
so,
everyone to get to this. What they call it now, digital age.
Digital transactions. Right? So in order to get their pay that they work for, whether they're weekly paid, monthly paid, twice per month paid, to get their own money, their salaries, they have a difficulty. And the difficulty is compounded by the fact that the banks, in the most part, are moving customers from the banking halls to the machines.
Yes, sir.
So where they are moving them to is where they're having more difficulties. Now, I emphasize the fact that many people live from paycheck to paycheck.
What do you mean many people, Sir Jackson? I mean, what are we? Paycheck, they probably a little fraction.
You say it clearly.
Yes.
So the point I'm trying to make, Vernon, is that the magnitude of the problem for everyday Jamaicans goes way beyond just a machine not working.
Yes.
And why I was compelled to table a motion was to get the government and the relevant authority to address the matter. Because you will note.
But you shouldn't have to do that, Mr. Jackson.
Sorry?
You shouldn't have to do that.
Well, I want to make the point, Vernon. During the height of the problem,
yes,
which still persists, we never heard a word from the Minister of Finance.
What's the Minister?
We never heard a word from the Prime Minister on the subject.
Mr. Prime Minister, you are winning the next election.
We never heard a word. Let me make this point. We never heard a word from the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, nor the Bank of Jamaica itself. Not even a whisper, while people were having and continue to have this widespread problem.
Well, I must tell you, when it comes to the governor, I find the governor and the Bank of Jamaica, apparently they're so big up there in the sky that they don't seem to talk to ordinary people.
No, but I will blame them too. But you can't exclude the political representatives.
Yes.
We're in a democracy. We elect people to represent our concerns. That's what we are there for. And neither the Prime Minister nor the Minister of Finance even made a whisper about it.
I think things have
So,
changed though. The impression I get now is now mainstream and things have changed, so they better listen and talk about it.
no, but no, in all fairness, Vernon, things have changed. I'm speaking specifically of the issue of the machines and the difficulties that
Oh
people
yes,
are having.
yes.
That's what I'm speaking to. And you had not heard a whisper from them until subsequent to this motion, which compelled the Bank of Jamaica to take the action that they have taken.
But that's not an
Because
action,
the motion
Mr. That's not an
specifically,
action.
sorry?
They want to put out a document, one look a
No.
fancy sounding document.
No, no. There are major shortcomings, and I
Yes.
fully agree with you.
Oh, by the way, before
But
you
let
even go
us
further,
not-
please advise them when they're putting out these documents, you must use language that the other person can understand. Here heading, minimum automated banking machine service level standards to strengthen consumer protection for customers of deposit take. Come on. And market conduct and consumer protection thematic working group. Tell them for use some words, man out I would understand. Tell them, I beg you, and you continue.
It is important that protection provision.
Oh, I hope I have lost Mr. Jackson. I think we have lost Mr. Jackson.
So I fully
Oh, you're
agree
back
with
now.
you.
Go ahead now. We lost you a while ago.
Sorry, maybe the reception.
Yes.
So that is one issue. So what the Bank of Jamaica has done further to the resolution of Parliament, the process is that I tabled a motion, I got the Parliament to vote in approval of it, so it became a resolution of Parliament.
So hold on, the
It
Parliament
moved from a
support the
motion.
opposition, so the whole Parliament?
Yes, it never put it this way. The Parliament did not object to it,
What a thing?
right?
Yes.
No, that's another story. But the bottom line is that I was able to get the Parliament
Right.
not to vote it down as they did with the motion that has to, and the bill has to deal with fees.
Yes.
This one has nothing to do with fees. This one has to do specifically with two items. One, establishing a minimum service standard for ATMs operated by the licensees of the Bank of Jamaica.
But before you continue, so your
That's
job
one.
not done yet, we need to have standards for every aspect of the operation. So you make sure you're not done yet, I hope God make you live long so you have more to do.
Well, I want you to pray for me, or continue to pray for me.
But I'm not only
Others.
praying for you, I give you support. Full support.
Well, yes, but I can't deny that at all. That is very true. But Vernon, you give me support, and you pray for me.
Yes.
But we need the whole country,
That's enough of we fast asleep. We know something right with this sometimes.
right? We are not where we are because people kept quiet.
Yes.
We are where we are, however deficient it may be. It is based upon the actions of persons before us and
Exactly.
some present.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to use this opportunity to appeal to your listeners that it is not enough to give silent or whispering approval, but to give your vocal support. Because, Vernon, more than anything else, what this action has proven, not suggest, proven, is that Parliament has the power to change things for the better for our people. It is whether we who are elected in the Parliament and form the government are prepared to use the power that the people gave to us to protect their interests, rather than to use the power to protect the interests of a few and the super rich in this country.
But if the people don't care, you think the parliamentarians are going to care? So the people have to wake up. They have to wake up.
Well, I think your statement is endorsing what I said.
Yes.
So I want you, when this program is over, and I am no longer on the show,
Yes.
that you use that bully pulpit that you have every day
But you
to
know,
mobilize.
let me show up for you. I've been doing it for about 15 years now.
You have to continue to do it. If I had surrendered
Yes.
so many years ago, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly.
So you please don't even consider surrendering or withdrawing.
No.
And you must implore others to do likewise.
Unless I have to come off, if I have to come off here, they may have to find some other means and ways to do it.
You do have a failure in doing that.
I
You
hear
have
you.
proven that.
But I would then go for the break and come back to you. Yes.
Sure.
But there's something I want to point out, and that it has to do with the fees and so on, and that my understanding some banks are supposed to, the elderly supposed to have their fees waived, and some persons don't know that, or they know they need to contact the bank for that. And the dormant account system, which I've suggested to them, and I'm going to beg you to help me to support that idea if you think it's a good idea, to have contacts on our accounts so that when we reach up to 60 and 70 and 80 and dementia sets in and we don't know where the accounts are, putting it in the papers that will help. We will have other contacts, at least two, who the banks can call and to find out where we are. That is something that the banks have refused, except one, I think Jamaica National, allow you to put contacts. And that's a simple one. We not can put contact for the people in their account so that you can find them when you can. And that's why I have a dormant account. And that is why I'm telling you, I lose confidence in the bank.
You believe they really want to find them?
Let me go for the break and come back and tell me about that. Do they really want to find them? And those dormant accounts might become active somewhere else. We're talking to Mr. Fitz Jackson, one of the fighters for consumer matters, who come back. Don't.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers pride themselves in being professionals in the field of insurance broking, claim settlement, and risk management services for over 35 years. We offer a wide range of insurance services including motor, property, liability, accident, life, and international health for individuals and companies at competitive rates. Call 926-3572 or visit 7.5 Haining Road, Kingston 5, or shop number 3, James Plaza, Mandeville. Call 625-6804 or visit online spectrumjamaica.com. Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standards.
This is your television and radio preacher, Bishop Dr. G.G. Cooper, asking you to join me every Sunday at 6 p.m. for revival time. Enjoy 60 minutes of old-fashioned, Holy Ghost anointed, yoke-destroying, burden removing, praise, celebration.
Welcome back. You're listening to Spoton with Vernon coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. That beautiful country where we say we little but we tallow. And we're talking about the minimum automated, but I'm going to bite me tongue. I want to come this man. Mr. BOJ, I want to come up with some shorter things, man. I want to come up with them big word about what protection thematic. What the hell is that? Anyhow, moving right along. And that's why, I mentioned that, Mr. Jackson. Welcome back, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, sir.
I mentioned that thing about the language because there's a disconnect with those who go to university and get their masters and their doctorates and turn big shots. I'm going to ask you because I guess because you're a politician, you understand the importance of getting the money when they pay. Come. That is keeping them banks. They don't understand. Them only talk to pure big shot people. They don't understand at all. No, I know you're concerned and I support your concern.
You know, Vernon?
Yes.
I kind of disagree with that,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the case that they don't understand.
Yes.
They do understand, but they don't have an interest to address it.
Oh, Lord.
They don't have an interest to address it. They're aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're a relatively small country,
So we know what's
and
going
we talk
to go on.
another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know. Question is whether are willing to do the things that we need, that needs to be done.
Well, if the people are fast asleep when there will be no action.
Look here, the man who oppresses someone and benefits from the oppression, he has no interest in stopping.
Oppression.
He has no interest to stop his benefit.
I hear you.
Those are pretty tough. The fees that the banks are
Hold on,
charging.
the man who what again? That's a profound statement. The man who what?
The man who benefits from the oppression of someone knowingly has no interest to stop doing it.
Knowingly has no interest to stop doing it.
Oppressing, right?
I will
He has to be stopped.
I will always remember that he has to, and that sounds like reminds me of slavery and other matters.
Indeed, no, that's an appropriate analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Slavery was an economic system for which persons benefited, you know,
Significantly.
significantly. The charging of the fees by the banks is of enormous benefit to a small set of people.
Oh, but
At
hold
the
on, no,
expense
sorry
of
for
the
cut you there.
common people.
I hear
Sorry?
and you, sorry for cut you right there at a very crucial point. But I know here that the banking machines thing is no longer profitable. So hold on, Mr. Leach, you never know. So when I run way out of the bank, if we go use a machine that it was profitable for them. I was shocked when I heard that statement. I wonder if you were shocked too.
Well, you know, if you might permit me, Vernon,
Yes.
and I was on another program, TV program with someone, and that very point came up. And I have to emphatically try to make this point. What is regrettable in mind is that the Bank of Jamaica, the regulator,
Yes.
who grants the institution license, they buy into the bank's argument, which implicitly says, in our banking services, banking activities, which mean taking your money and having the use of it, we have no obligation to provide service. We only take the money, and if you want service, such as to access it, to do this or do that, that is extra.
Yes.
That's not part of their regular service. It's not part of their regular service or part of their regular business activity, like paying light bill, paying water rate, paying mortgage for the property they use or rent for the property they use, paying salaries. They are not treating it, giving you service as part of the modus operandi. They're saying that they're not supposed to give you any service. And if you want any service, you have to
Pay for
the
it. You better pay if you want service.
And the Bank of Jamaica,
Yeah.
Vernon, sadly, and the Minister of Finance, and I named the Minister of Finance specifically because he came to Parliament, and I can give you the verbatim notes from Ansad,
Yes.
to say the banks must charge these fees for their operation. So the Minister of Finance said giving service to the account holders is not no duty of the bank. So if you want that, you must prepare to pay for it.
Probably so
It's sad.
you have to understand, I think he's a road scholar and go and big university. You have to understand, so when
No, Vernon, you understand the depth of the abandonment of by the Bank of Jamaica and the minister and the government to say you don't service is not a requirement from the banks, and if you want it, must pay for it.
But when me take from
You
the
don't
money and
ask
give
the
them,
bank.
and then take from the money go invest it all over the place, eh? So what happened now?
And make no, but Vernon,
Yeah.
Vernon, let us face this thing face up. We see vividly before our eyes last year
Yes.
that much of these fees is about providing multi-billion-dollar profits and compensation for the bank personnel.
Hello.
We don't have to speculate on it anymore.
I don't have to because I have intimate knowledge.
Public knowledge. No, it's public knowledge.
Yes. And by the way,
Please
when you
pay.
separated those institutions, when them pay, don't pay, your money can run the country for probably a whole year.
Because their compensation arrangement is predicated on the profits that the banks make. So they
Not on the
require
service
super
that they
profit.
offer. Yes.
They require super profits for super compensation. And super profits.
Yeah, for super compensation.
You don't have to be a genius to understand and appreciate that. And then the Minister of Finance comes to make the dishonest statement.
Oh, what? Hold on, careful. I don't want to go there, you might be right, but you don't have to, so I want to
But
apologize.
you have to hear what I said. I said a dishonest statement.
Okay.
And the statement he made was one in Parliament,
Yes.
which is on public record. That the fees that the banks change is to ensure the viability of the banks. And
So
we know
hold
that
on
the
now. So
fees-
you never ask him, say the money would then take from me. And if me want a loan, the trouble they give if you get one like a loan. That the money they then take from me, go invest it. That's
that
supposed
is your
to be-
problem. As far as they're concerned, that's your problem.
I hear you.
And they don't business with your problem.
I hear you.
So long as they can continue to make No, we're not talking about making profits, because I'm all for businesses making profits.
And
I
yes,
want to make that abundantly clear.
but super profits.
Super profit and at whose expense? It can't be that a government preside over a system that allows one set of people, a small set of people, to make super multi-billion-dollar profits every year at the expense of the unemployed, the pensioners,
Right.
our marginally employed, right? Those small business operators, our micro business operators. It can't be. So the bill that I have in Parliament, that the government has been blocking for over 6 years, is to preserve those multi-billion-dollar profits from the banks.
Well, they must go somewhere and definitely not going to my pocket.
But I want to make the point, though, if you'll permit me, Vernon, that the resolution of Parliament that require the BOJ to put in place minimum operating standards for the ABM, right, demonstrates the power of the Parliament and us parliamentarians.
But here they do. When they put the minimum standards in place now, who is going to monitor it? All the banks required is to submit reports, and
well, that's one of the issues I have.
If they don't comply now, what are you going to do? You're going to go to strap and meet them?
You know, Vernon, further to that point, I found it so unfortunate that the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, in response to that question asked, or that concern about the absence of financial penalty for breaching the standards, is to say that they do not have legislation to do it.
You don't come for the legislation?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. It look like a bright son, you bright son.
He should have said, if there is an interest to protect the consumer,
yes,
and the users of ABMs, right? If that was the interest of the Bank of Jamaica, he would say, we have made submission to the Minister of Finance to pass regulation to enable this.
But
it
sir,
will come in force as soon as the Parliament passes.
President
this
has already
resolution.
been set for JPSCO, Water Commission. Those are two entities where standards have been set. And if they don't meet those standards, you're compensated.
Well, it underscored the fact, Vernon, that the Bank of Jamaica has no interest in causing the banks to pay anything to adhere to any standards and leave it. They give them 9 months, almost 1 year. And every time the Bank of Jamaica wants anything for the BOJ, for the banks,
yes,
it makes the submission to the Minister of Finance for parliamentary action. But yet now when the consumers, the ATM users are to be protected, it tells the government, let them take a year.
Absolute nonsense. By the way, when a man thief to Aki, where do with him? Eh? When a man thief to Aki, well, sometimes
within 2 weeks, the most are blessed, and that is before the courts.
But for the banks, they're high up in the society, so you say, oh, what you did was not right, You can't take no shot against them. You supposed not right.
I heard the governor said on a program, oh, they don't want to fall out of favor with us. And if as banks they want to be
Mr. Jackson, you're not into comedy, You're not into comedy.
No, I heard it.
No. That is I'm going to tell you just made a libelous statement. That is not possible, Mr. Jackson. No, sir. So if the banks them do it, then do we over the years. If them do it, then do we over the years. I want to stop them from doing more. Mr. Jackson, look like really great sometime. Before you go, I'm going to ask you, and by the way, I'm going to continue to support you on this matter. But still, you're one member of parliament who you're fighting some issues that affect the people. But what I want you to help me fight now is to pressure, you can ask the bank and the governor of the Bank of Jamaica to recommend that we have laws in place that persons have to have allowed contacts on their accounts. So if they suffer from dementia, Alzheimer's or something like that, they can make contact with those persons so they can locate them. And that we must have that.
I fully support that, Vernon.
Because
Fully
what have
support
you know?
that,
You,
but something must come before.
what must come before?
But Vernon, Vernon, you have to protect the money in the accounts that are deep down
brother.
before.
Hello,
Because when them
Mr.
don't
Jackson.
collect them fees from it, nothing is there by who they connect, who they
Mr.
make
Jackson.
contact with.
Besides, you know, you're part of this program, so you better find yourself back here again. Because we still have more to continue. And I vow, so long as I'm on air, I'm going to give you total support. Because so far, I'm not here to talk rubbish. So therefore, I'm going to ask you to make a final point, but I'm going to ask you to reserve some time. Because it's very important for you to talk to your friends in Parliament. Many of us don't hear what's happening in Parliament. And we want you to talk to the people some more. Any final point?
But by the way, no, you would know the struggle I went through to get this motion on the other paper.
What do you mean I would know?
The speaker was blocking it.
Oh, is that my friend, the speaker, you're talking about him?
The speaker said
No, it's
that
a
I already
previous
have
speaker.
something to do.
Is that previous?
I couldn't table this because I already have something on the other paper to deal with bank fee when this had nothing to do with bank fee.
Well, next time it happens,
As a result, it took over 2 weeks delay.
Well, next time it happens, we'll give
2
you
weeks
total
delay.
support on that one. So, and just any final point you want to make before you leave us? We only have a minute left.
I want to encourage every listener, call your member of parliament, call and write to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance and tell them to pass the Banking Services Amendment Bill regarding fees so that their interests in the banks can be better protected. And they can do that tomorrow when the Parliament sits, because it's already sitting on the order paper. Just for the government to have the courage to allow its members to vote without any threat, right? Vote their conscience and vote for more protection for account holders in Jamaica. Simple as that. I have kept the bill on the order paper, so it's immediately available to be acted upon by the government, by the Parliament.
Mr. Fitzjackson, booking, we'll tell you next time we talk again. Have to
Take care.
Have a wonderful
All
day.
the best to your listeners.
Member of
Pleasure
Parliament.
being with you all the time.
Thank you, my friend. Talking about some of the things that need to be changed in the banking sector. This is Spoton with Vernon Darby coming to you from Jamaica. So come back. Don't move.
Three Angels Pharmacy, the premier provider of quality pharmaceutical care, opens every day except Saturday. Located at shop number 7, 7B Caledonia Road, Mandeville, call 625-5584. The temperature by Three Angels Pharmacy is
30 degrees Celsius in New Kingston.
Only Chlorodo gets it right. Chlorodo Bleach, now available in 3 different fragrances: original, citrus, and floral.
The ultimate clean is a Chlorodo clean.
Chlorodo Bleach.
For financial news and the latest developments in the business community and economy, Financially Speaking is the top choice. Join me, your host Errol Gregory, Mondays and Wednesdays at 12:30 p.m. as we look at current economic issues, provide small business tips, and help you to build your business and portfolios. That's Financially Speaking, sponsored by Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSC Online Trading.
Tune in to German Morgan, aka Brother DJ Frisco, on your radio. Friday nights at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. inside the Midnight Serenade Radio Show. And Saturdays and Sunday mornings inside the Kingdom Lifestyle Radio Show from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. You will be motivated, blessed, and receive a word in time with DJ Frisco in the mix. Tune in, and stay connected.
Do you want the keys to discovering your God-given purpose? Would you like a strategy to fulfill your unique destiny on earth? How about a map to help you navigate the twists and turns on your journey of life? Do you, don't you, will you, won't you? If I coax you, would you want to? Don't you want to? Aren't you going to? Oh, come on, you said you would. Hey, this is Everton Thomas, your friend, your bishop, from the Emmanuel Apostolic Church International with headquarters at 12 Slide Road in Kingston, Jamaica. And I'm inviting you to join me this and every Friday at 11 a.m. right here on this station for Insights, inspiring conversations for everyday life. That's Insights, Fridays at 11 a.m. God bless you now. Stay awesome.
Welcome back. Yes, you're listening to Spoton with Vernon Darby coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. From that beautiful country where we say we little to Italo. Okay, coming up right now is consumer prices. Dip, 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 dip. We said, carry me yaki, go a listed market. Not that what he was sell. Me say carry me yaki go well instead market. Not that what he was sell. Yeah, when me friend them day. Me hear say Anthony back in the house. Good morning, Mr. Anthony Gay. Me here say Nadine in the house. Good morning, Nadine. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Jabo. Good morning, Mr.
Great to have you. And Mr. Gale, long time we not talk, and I'm going to keep it long because I know you're in a little tight wrap. So how you do, my friend?
Good morning, Mr. Darby, and good morning, listeners. It was reception and not so strong this morning, but nevertheless.
Don't worry, we're hearing you very well this morning. Don't worry, we're hearing you very well, so no problem at all. But give us like a feedback in terms of what the farmers are saying, whether it's in Manchester, St. Elizabeth, or up in the St. Andrew Hills. Give us a feedback as to feedback from them that they're getting in terms of concerns.
Well, for the farmers, things are in abundance as to the crop they are reaping now, especially carrots and cabbage, popcho and tomato. They are in a good supply in the market. We need the consumers to come out and purchase them. Carrots are so low now in good supply, rich in vitamin C. We need the consumers to come out and purchase them. They are in the market. Seems as if they're not moving in at all. But we need the support now more than anything else.
Right.
The farmers and that keep up in the market.
All right. I want to good. Thanks for that bit of information. And before we go to Nadine, just want to remind our listeners that this hour is sponsored by Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standard, and the Fosrich Group of companies located at 77 to 79 Malines Road. All right, that's in Kingston. Yes, over to my friend Nadine.
Yes, Mr. Darby, I agree with Mr. Anthony. Carrot just doesn't pass 120. Any amount of carrot, it just doesn't pass 120 per pound. And it is so rich and let me know them beautiful color. Any color you believe the carrot in a compete in the presidential market, the color them turn up. See cabbage color, turn up. It just doesn't pass 120 either. Cabbage doesn't pass 120. Pop chai doesn't pass $100. Lettuce, $300 per pound. Sweet pepper, $200. Any amount of tomato you want, it just doesn't pass $100 per pound. The slicing, $200 per pound. We have everything out. Yeah, the vitamin C, including the orange, the grapefruit. I don't say the lemon or lime, but the orange ranges from $1,000 right down to $600 per dozen. When I see the sour, I see the big what you call them, the big ugly. See ugly is like $200 per dozen. Sour lemon is like $400 or $500 per dozen. But everything out is the Derby. Hot peppers, plentiful. All the hot peppers are out, and that just doesn't pass $400 per pound. The yellow one, the red one, are like $250 per pound. All the scallions are out. They just doesn't $200 per pound. Any scallion at all, it doesn't pass $200 per pound. We give you them back now, we wrap them up in a long glass scallion time, which is like for $150, $120, even $100, $50 upon the Chinese and the market. One time ago you couldn't get that. But I still see some little salads hanging on and salads like $350 per pound. I know things are gone up to $400 per pound, but everything is still out. I don't know where those people that do office work, if they don't have any canteen at their office like them, we need the school canteen to come out, come pick up where we grow, where we eat, where we grow. The market full of food. You see arrowroot out. I wonder what the people know the food out. Arrowroot, yes. Arrowroot is going for 150 per pound. Yam doesn't pass 150 per pound. Yam is so cheap, Mr. Darby, coming right back down. So sweet potato, 150 per pound. We have our own grown local onions and the market. We have a big nice one that you want to put the rings on the fish. That doesn't pass 200 per pound. We have a little small one that we call second, where you can just use one and just completely the one you have cut and put on. Because we don't bother cut onion and put on. We just use a little size. Those are 150 per pound. So we must ask we one grown Irish potatoes here on the market. It doesn't pass 200 per pound. So we have the price them reasonable and everything out. We see all of the fruits them. We see our jackfruit. We see our Ethiopian apple. You get them in a 150 bag. You get them in a $200 bag. Same for the jackfruit. We plug them out to give them in a $100 bag. We see our tambourine. $100 a bag for tambourine. So all the juice can make.
You have another minute left, Nadine. You have a minute left.
Everything out, Mr. Daddy. There's no shortage. We just need for them to come along. All the spices are out.
Right.
Cinnamon leaf, $100. The nutmeg, 3 for 100. Everything is out, Mr. Darby. No shortage.
All right, thank you very much, Nadine Williams, and also thank you, Mr. Anthony Gale. And just remind us how persons can make contact with you, Nadine.
876-581-0869. That's 581-0869. Don't forget the 876.
Thank you very much, Nadine and Mr. Anthony Gale. Next week we do it all over again. You have a wonderful day. All right, just want to remind our listeners that this hour is sponsored by Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standard. Foss and Fossridge Group of companies located at 77 to 79 Malines Road, right here in Kingston, Jamaica. And of course, time is slipping by. We're coming just have a few more minutes left before we come to the end of the show. And I know that some of you are going to be looking out for the eclipse. But I tell you, remember, the Real Chef had some special spectacles for you to purchase to look at it. Do not look at the sun at all. Because when I tell you, you might end up, you hear me I tell you? You might end up seeing night for the rest of your life. So beg of you, do not. And we are supposed to be seeing a partial eclipse about, let me see now, sorry, that's about 12:51 Eastern Standard Time, and then it should end at 12:55 Eastern Standard Time. So you look out for that one, but I tell you, don't look up at the sun and don't allow those children to go outside to look up, because you're going to look up, and guess what? You're going to see, you'll probably end up seeing night for the rest of your life. All right, weather, no time for weather. The small, a ridge across Jamaica, the ridge is expected to remain across the island for the next few days. 24-hour forecast this morning, partly cloudy across northern parishes, otherwise mainly sunny. This afternoon, partly cloudy, windy across northern parishes. Tonight, partly cloudy across northern parishes, windy along the north coast. And now let's take a look at those persons who are celebrating their birthday today. Well, we only have two persons. Mr. Clinton Baldwin. Yeah, my friend, Mr. Clinton Baldwin. Yeah, he's a man who is a pastor, and he's also in the media. And also Ricardo Clark from the Tower Hill Missionary Church. So both of you have a wonderful day today. And of course, I've been trying for years to locate Angela Lawrence. You went to Papine High. She is from Augustown. So if you're listening to this radio program, you know, where is Angela Lawrence? Tell her that Vernon Darby has been trying to make contact with her. Thank you very much, Mr. Astor Hoyt and Pastor Boyne. Thanks to all the salespeople. Thanks for the work and the support. Yeah, my salespeople have been doing a very fine job. And I leave you with this one. It's easy to find thousands who will criticize the good that you do, but only a few to assist you in doing the good that you do. Vernon Darby saying, have a wonderful day. I love you all. Walk good, my friend.